So I wanted to show everybody how I'm editing my first vlog with Sony Vegas. I bet it's a cool program, but it's making me want to cry. It's horrible, I hate it, and I hit the wall. I cannot join those two clips together, and yeah, I'm just full of anger, and I was doing anger eating. I would like to go for a smoke, I would like to drink some whiskey and go to my bed and cry because I hate it so much. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. Hello guys, welcome from Iceland. Hope you are doing great. I'm doing great. I wanted to make my first vlog, and I wanted to tell you about my 5.5, almost like 6 days voyage to Iceland, how I got here. So, in the beginning, we left Vilnius and we had to drive through entire Poland. Now, there isn't so much to say because we did it on the same day. Like, we didn't even leave very early. I think we left at around maybe even 10:30. Not very early, no. And we crossed Poland. Basically the only thing, fuel prices, we paid actually quite a lot. It was like €1.10, €1.20, but we got into probably the wrong fuel station. It was British Petroleum, I think, pretty expensive, and then we also had to pay for the roads, and it was not that cheap, honestly. We paid €18, if not a little bit more, but we got to Berlin from Vilnius in one day. We ended up in Berlin pretty late. I don't remember now exactly. Could have been 9 o'clock, maybe a bit later. And well, we wanted to take a hotel that we found on Booking.com, and that hotel it did not reply. First of all, then we thought, okay, maybe we just book it, you know, but because the reception works till 9 and we have to pay, what if we encounter problems, because we then would, you know, run into trouble getting our money back. So we tried to call several times, we did not answer. Then apparently Booking.com said that there are businesses that pretty much went bankrupt or be closed because of COVID, and they have not updated the information. So be careful if you travel. You really need to make sure that the place is open. So we went to another place. We were really interested to have a free parking on premises, and not just free parking, but parking that would be closed, because we had so much stuff, we kind of wanted to keep an eye on it. So yeah, we went to that hotel, Queen's Mary Hotel or something. There's like some English sort of park nearby, which we could not enter at all, but the reviews were terrible. I think it got like, I don't know, a score of 6 out of 10, if not worse. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was not 100% clean, but it was just a small spot I saw in the shower. And then, what else? I saw the breakfast. The breakfast was really weird because, you know, you have this like Swedish table, like a buffet, where you take anything you want. It's typical for hotels, and they had it as well, but they actually had this lady and a guy who were putting in stuff for you, and I wanted 1 egg but 2 buns, and because I speak German, I was just speaking to the guy in German. He said you cannot have 2 buns unless you have 2 eggs. I thought it was a joke, but he was not joking. So eventually after having this weird conversation, he did give me 2 buns and 1 egg. The taste was fine, but it was nothing fancy, like a very poor buffet, you could say. No fruits, really nothing. We just had some ham and cheese, and I got a tea and the egg with a bun. That was fine though. So I think for one night stay, the reviews were so bad. It wasn't bad, it was just a little weird breakfast. Then in the morning we headed to the border with Denmark, and first of all Germany. We stopped at a town named Glücksburg. We had to stop there because if you translate Glücksburg from German, it's a city of happiness, so that sounded cool. And actually when you stand there on the other side you can see Denmark, so that's pretty cool as well. On the other side of, like, was it a river or some sort of lagoon? I don't remember now. But anyway, everything was closed. We really wanted to eat some nice meals, you know, before we go to Denmark, which is more expensive than Germany. But everything was closed apart from a kebab shop. So I got a döner, which is kebab in German. It was pretty cheap, I think, for 2 donors kebabs. We paid a bit more than 7 euros. And it was very tasty, very filling. Love that. I love kebabs. Now, fuel prices, Germany, absolutely the same, pretty much €1.10, so even probably cheaper than Poland, just because we chose that wrong fuel station. And another thing that happened in Germany, I had never driven in Germany before, so I was photographed by a speed camera on an autobahn, and honestly I hated driving in an autobahn because there were not enough signs for me. I mean, if you had the experience, you might know how to deal with them. I did not. So entering Denmark, we got there pretty late. We got a nice place, very affordable. I think it was like 67 euros, so great for Denmark. It was lovely. It's a guest house, but they only have 3 rooms, and the hosts live in the same house as well. Very beautiful. And another really interesting thing about Denmark is that they don't really have a drinking age restriction. So I did not expect that from a Scandinavian country. You can actually get beer or wine if you are 16 years old. And interestingly, we got some Jägermeister in a shop, and it was past 8 o'clock. We also don't have those limitations, but we paid less than it costs in Lithuania. We first of all visited Aarhus. Beautiful architecture. I love the city a lot. Another one on our way was Aalborg. Aalborg, also beautiful city. I think it's a bit smaller though. We didn't really have much time in Aalborg because we were heading for our ferry. The ferry is not something we wanted to miss, so we ended up like half an hour to our deadline to be in the ferry terminal, and we had to get a corona test first before getting on the ferry. So the test, that one was in the mouth, it was swab, and it was pretty fine. Later when we took another test, when we arrived in Iceland, still on a ferry though, they used 2 swabs, one in my mouth and another one in my freaking nose. Nose was worse. I didn't like that at all. So I don't know, I still need to take one more test. I should take it in several days, and then that will release me from my isolation in Iceland, which I can't wait because I so much want to go to a shop.